Oh my goodness. So I've already done one, but I'm curious to see how much difference having a live stream versus a pre-recorded and edited video makes. I love doing live streams. However, one thing I notice is that I freaking do like 1 hour videos and it takes quite a bit of time. So you are going to see the live stream version. I've already done the edited, going to do the edited version. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. And I like to hear what you guys think about edited versus non-edited. Which one you guys prefer? I personally know I'm going to edit it more. I'm planning to put in like background music and probably mute certain areas because this was recording a video and see how that is. So I had everything all set up and let me reset it up again. See, this is the number one fail right here. I wasn't prepared. So this is a faux plant that I rescued sometime last year, and this was completely free. So this is a faux plant. This is packing paper. This is a pot that I got for free. And then here is another free thing, which is soil and a pot. So I actually was growing green onions in there. I forgot to water them. And as a result of it, it died. And I had a huge amount of soil here. And then I thought like, oh crap, maybe I should ask someone in one of my free groups if I can have soil. And then I realized like, freaking Erica, you have like probably like about a gallon of soil over here. Just make do with what you have. You don't even need that much soil. So this thing, I had it lazily done in packing paper. It's funny how it's like initially you're okay with it, and then after a couple months it just annoys the out of you. So I decided to keep the packing paper over here. And if you guys have any fake floral, you guys can see this is the dirt over here. If you guys have any fake floral, I do recommend repotting it and using real soil because it tends to look much nicer. So this is the egg carton from my Amazon Fresh delivery earlier. Why not real plants? Well, first of all, I kill real plants. Second of all, if you guys remember the Great No-See-Um thing from 2020, I do not want to have a breeding ground for any bugs coming in. So no-see-ums or there's like pests that live in the moist soil. They breed in the soil. I don't want that. So this is the egg carton from my Amazon Fresh delivery. I was going to recycle it, and I decided, let me reuse it. So let's put this upside down. I know there's stuff here. I should have actually emptied that beforehand, but this is a complete live stream. Definitely not pre-scripted or pre-recorded. And I have a pen over here. I would recommend using a pencil instead. Sometimes when you mark things, right, you feel like you got the little outline. Ooh, see, I just marked right there. Oh, well, I don't take myself too seriously. I feel like I'm gonna circle it twice. Oh no, I just marked my container again. So definitely use a pencil if you have a pencil. That way you can erase it if you make a mark. I do think I can use alcohol for this. And yeah, I just want to make sure I do this a little while. So that's why I'm retracing it. See that? So I got soil over there. You know what? Hell with it. let me not vacuum. Let me sweep that thing up. Oh no! This looks so clumsy. If I was smart, I would have actually emptied this first. Oh well, it's okay. Okay, so now I have my little outline, but you see over here it's circle. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this out, and then I'm just going to cut it until it matches inside of the circle. So first of all, I'm gonna cut it. It's a little difficult because I have all this excess over here. That probably would have for me to just do this at the edge rather than in the middle. It's like a habit of mine, you know, doing everything in the middle. And all that cardboard can go in the recycle bin. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, I'm going to have to cut this down to size because it has to go inside of it. Today was the day I thought, like, hey, you know what? This is actually annoying me. So let me do something about it. So see this? It matches on the outside. I need it to be a circle. Sometimes when I look at those YouTube tutorials, at me because they make it, because they editing, right? So it makes it seem like they did it in 5 minutes, and then when you do it, it takes you 30 minutes. Maybe it's just me. But then also keep in mind, if you're doing it, first time doing it, so yeah, see, it's your first time doing it, so expect to mess up. Just like if you do an exercise routine on YouTube, expect the first time you do it, you're gonna look maybe like a fool because you don't know. So this is the second time I've done it. Okay, so this, see, so it definitely fits inside. I could have made it a little bigger, but you know what, that's okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I got my packing paper. Here's how you use it. I have my scraps over here. And let's see here. This is looking a little low. Let me add some cardboard in here. Let me fill it with cardboard because I'm a little low on that. Actually, you know what? I do have packing paper. So this is all my scraps. I'm just feeling lazy. Like, I don't want to put this in the recycle bin. I want to, like, minimize my cleaning. So let's just see how this thing works. If I have more volume doing it this way. I do. See? Look. I still want to fill it up a little bit more. Pretty good. You do it here. See how much taller that looks? And then I can put this thing over here. See that? So what I want to do is I want to make a hole, a little dot in the middle. See? And then I'm going to get a box cutter and cut a little square. And the purpose of this is I want to put the base in here. See here? You can see the outline here. Punch it out. Punch that out. This here. Remember my base? Let's see how this works. So I gotta like poke a hole in here. See how this is. So this actually doesn't work out. I think most likely what I'm gonna do is figure out, like, make a little puka here. That actually would have been easier to do with packing paper because, see that? This means, there we go. See, so I want to have it like this. So this over, add my packing paper in here. So I made a little hole in the cardboard. So I want it to hit on the bottom. Oh, this is making. Okay, I think it's done. Small break. So he's on the opposite side of the apartment, but because we live in a studio, the sound really travels. So if I crinkle around here, he'll hear it, and you'll hear it in his video. That's what I'm really want. Okay. So I'm gonna switch this around. See how this thing turns out.
Whether you're paying for that $30,000 or $40,000 operating you pay out of your taxes, or you're paying for it out of the premiums you pay to find an insurance provider, on shape or form, you are still paying for that $30,000 operating payment to be replaced. What I would like to focus on is why we are replacing the $30,000 operating payment. When we could simply be replacing the $600 motor inside. If we do more of that, then regardless of whether the money is taken out of your taxes, taken out of your wallet, or taken out of your wallet via premium you pay to private insurance providers, at the end of the day, there's potential for that number to be lower if the end result of what we're doing costs little.
Okay. Okay. So I filled it up with cardboard. And I'm gonna make a little hole here for it. Because I want it to be upright. Let's see. So this thing is all about experimentation. See, so if I had it like, someone's probably cringing. Okay. If I had it like this would actually be good. So, I'll put cardboard in here. Whoops. Let me just layer it down, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna layer it. Feel free to use newspaper instead, magazine paper. I would just want to play around because I have all this stuff in front of me right now. Yeah, I don't think this cardboard thing is really working. Yeah. So if I used packing paper, this would have been way easier. I just was curious to see how it would be if I used cardboard. So instead of using cardboard on the bottom, I would actually recommend using packing paper. It's a lot more flexible. And you guys can actually... Does that work? It does work. So say. So you might be wondering, Erica, what's the whole point of using the card over here? Well, there's a reason. The reason is I don't want to fill it up completely with soil. So I only have to fill it up with like half an inch of soil or so, because everything else is, yeah, everything else is filled up, see? So we will see how this turns out. Let's see, okay. Let's see, it does shift a little. It shifts because this thing is actually very top heavy. You guys might not be able to see it, but this thing on the top is quite heavy, so that's why it's leaning off on the side a bit. See? But it does balance. It's just as easy for it to shift. So let's put the soil in and see how this turns out. Not making a mess, because messes are normal. This is actually more of a mess because I have the tripod right here. And I would recommend using the biggest spoon you can, or like a bigger spoon. Like one of those gardening scoops, that might be a little better. You just have a little bit more thing here versus if you do it the other way. Let's see. Ta-da! Oh, crap, I forgot to take off the label. See this? I have a little sticker over here. Okay. I knew I forgot something. There we go. So you can adjust it if you want. That's what I like about full floral. See that? Let me go so it's a little more level and you guys can see what I'm saying. See that? So you can adjust the leaves if you want. You can make some leaves higher. You can make some leaves lower. You can move this leaf over here. And because it does have thin metal inside of it, it's very pliable. Sometimes these things, like when I see them, they're a little squish looking. But you can, yeah, you can just play around with it. Put this one over here. I feel like some of these leaves are a little low. See, if you look over here, you see this mass, it looks a little low. Looks a little clumpy. So, let's see if I can move them around. Yeah. And this one I think it's a little broken around here. Yeah, it feels like the wire snapped on that one a little. But other than that, this is how it looks like. And if you ask me, it looks it looks much better than it did before, for sure. Before it was just like packing paper and that's it. So if you guys have any any faux floral or any faux greenery, I'd probably keep it like that. If you have any faux floral or faux greenery, I would recommend putting potting soil underneath. And I wouldn't recommend using cardboard like I did on the bottom. You can use packing paper. But yeah, it looks quite good if you ask me. See that? And it's really cheap, and this stuff will last you a really, really long time. If you feel like you want to put more soil in there, you can always add in more. So putting that little cardboard on the bottom helps displace a lot of the soil. That way you don't feel like you have the whole thing is freaking soil. Because like sometimes, right, if you deal with the soil thing, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I gotta buy this whole bag of soil for this. Just use some old potting soil that you have around the house. Soil is a little light looking. What I would recommend is if you don't have any dogs or cats, use coffee grounds in there too. You can look into coffee grounds. And that might actually look quite nice. I feel like this soil, maybe it's just me, it looks a little light brown. So I wanted to darken it, but I found out that coffee grounds is poisonous to cats, and I didn't want to risk, Oreo cat licking this accidentally. But yeah, soil in itself should be perfectly fine. And I'm gonna put this up, and yeah. Okay, see, I gotta clean up that mess over there. But it is quite cute. You can put this on a table, you can put this on a drawer, and you don't have to worry about watering it at all. Feel free to manipulate the leaves if you want. So these ones, right, they have a little bit of metal in them. This one's broken. You guys can tell, right? This one's broken. But yeah, there's usually like a certain little aesthetic angle that makes it look kind of nice. And yeah, that is it. So this is the end of my stream. I'm probably gonna fiddle faddle with this thing. Again, it is top heavy. Why it is droopy on over here. It's not a too light. So all the weight is on the top versus the bottom. And yeah, just use what you got. I'm happy that I finally got around to doing this. I've been wanting to do this for freaking quite some time. I just never got around to it, but today was the day. And if I come across any faux floral, for sure I'm going to be doing the same thing. Just getting, my big pot of potting soil over here. Like this is just pure potting soil now. And then refilling it. So here is the looped around over here. Let me see what I'm at. Over here. And if you guys want the amount of like dirt that you have on the ground, feel free to do this outside, if you have a backyard, sidewalk. Yeah, I don't mind sweeping this thing. There's so much freaking cat hair we're sweeping up anyway, so it's really no big deal. Let's see, can I move this? Yeah, so it seems like the wire basically ends like right here. You see there's this green part and then it turns onto this brown part. The green part feels like it's the wire. So there's only so much manipulate. Oh, yeah, I can only manipulate this brown base. Let's see. See this one? It's all green, so this one I can't manipulate. Can't make it straighter. And I don't bend it too much because I don't know how strong the wire is underneath. Let's see if I can make this a little higher. Perk up. This one I feel like is a little low. Ish. Yeah, so around with this thing. I like playing around with floral anyway, so this thing, yeah, I might play around with it for the next 15 minutes just cause that's kind of fun. But I don't want you guys to have to watch me like manipulate this thing for 15 minutes, especially if I only have 9% battery. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that maybe if you guys come across any fake floral, you think about repotting it or putting in some dirt on the bottom, or some moss. I think that's a really good idea. Sometimes like you'll go to the store and they'll have some really nice looking fake floral, but what they is a freaking base. Like when you look at the base, it looks so cheap. And if you make your own base, if you add soil, if you add moss, it makes it look much more expensive. So when I look at floral, I don't look at the bottom, I look at the top. And if the top looks realistic to me, then I know like, hey, this is something that that expensive. Also, right, if you have any like nice little vases or nice little pots, that would make fake floral look really good. So if you have like an orchid, for instance, you guys know that TJ Maxx has orchids every so often, and they're about $15.99, but the freaking bottom of it looks like total crap. It's like sometimes it's like some cheap plastic stuff. So yeah, I used to think to myself like, why I don't want to buy that kind of fake floral because it just looks so cheap. But you can just you can just like remove it from the base. I think some of them you can remove it out of the base. Maybe it's styrofoam, and then repot it in a pot, and then just use soil or use some cardboard to fill it up, kind of like what I did over here, and just put your own little base topping on it to make it look more realistic. So I will talk to you guys later. I gotta sweep up, but yeah, I hope you guys like this. And I'm gonna put this back, and here is a glimpse of the other one that I did. See that? So this used to be packing paper as well, and I'm gonna make an edited video of this. You guys can compare how the edited video looks like to this live stream, and for sure, I know I will. So yeah, you guys take care. See ya.